Welcome to MLC TV News Oct, reaching live from the city of LOKOJA, the confluent state of Nigeria. I am Jenji Abalagbubo. First, the headlines. INEC summons party leaders over clashes. Police plan 13 billion naira FIREARMS purchase ahead of polls. Russian forces commander in Ukraine says the situation in the southern city of KHERSON is difficult and residents are to be evacuated. And Nigeria Professional League clubs Rivers United and PLATEAU United draws North African opponents again in the Confederation Cup. And now the news in detail. Kogi State government said it is set to launch education revolution with the provision of quality infrastructure at all levels of institutions of learning and recruitment of teachers, as it is set to employ over 3,000 teachers. Commissioner for Education Wemi Jones disclosed to journalists after a tour on education facilities at the newly constructed ultra-modern GYB Model Science Secondary School, Adankolo in LOKOJA,
where we are going to recruit not less than 3,979, that's almost 4,000, to be able to populate our schools with qualified teachers. And the intention is very clear. We must return education to where it was.
He announced that the state government has plans to employ teachers who pass the qualifying test, assuring that the exercise will be continuous. The Kogi state government has distributed food items and medical consumables to victims of flood across the states, expressing commitment to catering for the needs of those displaced by the flood. Kogi State has been ravaged by floods in the past few weeks, and thousands were sacked from their homes by the flood that affected 9 local government areas in the state, including LOKOJA, the state capital. The state governor, YAHAYA BELLO, had visited the flood-affected areas, assuring them of his administration's commitment to provide palliatives to the victims. In fulfillment of the promise, the state government, in collaboration with the local government areas in the state, provided foodstuffs, medical consumables, and medical services to the people to help cushion the effect of the flood on them. One of the victims of the flood, who resides in Kotonkarfi, Abubakar Musa, told reporters that the state government have shown that it cares for the victims of the flood. The Nigerian Union of Journalists have commended the Kogi state government for its giant strides in the health sector. The journalists made the commendation during a tour on government projects within the state capital. In their quest to explore, they have resolved through the press week to embark on visiting government projects. Our reporter has more.
It's the day 2 of the inspection of some of government projects in Kogi State by the executives and members of the Nigerian Union of Journalists. The visits to the renovated specialist hospital and the newly constructed administrative block of the same hospital in LOKOJA got the attention of the NUJ, who commended the government for a job well done.
Very happy with the achievement of the present administration in the area of health. Health, they say, is wealth. And any investment in health is a worthwhile investment.
The Chief Medical Director of the hospital, Professor Isa Adagiri Yaya, who was the tour guide, appreciated the journalists for taking time to visit and inspect the structures. He said the 150,000 bed facilities that has been restructured and remodeled by the governor has helped in the smooth running and services to the people compared to the previous situation.
With this, our services has been enhanced, and then of course we will now be able to offer services as a specialist hospital for which it is. We're still looking forward for more equipment, and then of course, if it is possible, we need the place to be expanded. But I've just told the chairman that the diagnosis center has just been handed over to us, and that will improve our duties, our work, yes, because our laboratories really need expansion. So with that approval, we'll be able to move in there with our laboratories and our radiology departments.
Professor Isa informed the journalists that the hospital now has about 20 specialties and 9 functioning units. On the issue of insufficient doctors, he said the management has received approval to replace doctors that's left for greener pastures abroad.
We have open approval to replace doctors that leave because of the high turnover of the movement of doctors outside the state. Of course, we conduct interview on almost monthly basis. Yeah, we just conducted one yesterday, and that's why we have been able to meet up with our demands.
Professor Adagiri commended the governor for his quick intervention across the 21 local government areas of the state. On the welfare of the staff, Professor Issa informed the NUG that the state government is committed to encouraging productivity through the recent promotion exercises conducted, awaiting approval of the governor.
The hospital used to be specialist hospital by name, but by now, with the intervention, we'll be able to operate at a tertiary level. And of course, you're also aware that a reference hospital has been built in Okene with the state-of-art equipment that can rival any hospital within the country. And then, of course, that's not just a place. We have also hospitals in Gegu, we have in Ida, we have in Insondu, and in Jakuta local government, all in the health sector. So we cannot thank His Excellency enough, because even with the serene environment, the workers are very happy discharging their work at their best. We have just conducted the promotion exercises and made our submission beginning of last week. We are expecting approval from His Excellency any moment from now.
The chairman of the NUJ Kogi State, Adeza Momojimo, said the union is pleased with Governor YAHAYA BELLO for a significant impact in the health sector, which is evidently seen across the state.
Going by the various interventions we have seen across the state, we have seen that the governor has done very well in the area of health, and that's why going into this press week of the union, we have not only chosen to go around the health institution in the state to see for ourselves what the governor has been able to do. We have also enlisted the governor for our award for what he has been able to do in the health sector. Like I was talking to you before now, I said with what we have seen at the Okene Reference Hospital, it is in a class of its own. We have gone to various places, we have seen health facilities. I think, like you said, that of Okene is one that is outstanding.
The chairman urged the government to build a sustainable relationship with the press in the state for efficient reportage of government intervention and activities. Matthias Ayodeji Peter, reporting for MLC TV.
The contractor handling the reconstruction of the Ibadan-Iwo-Osogbo Road, Lanre Adeleke, on Tuesday assured of timely completion of the project being co-funded by the Osun and Oyo state governments. Adeleke, who spoke while receiving monarchs from Iwo Federal Constituency, led by the Oluwo of Iwo, Oba Abdurrashid Akombi, at the site of the project, also said before the reconstruction work would commence, there would be patching of bad portions to ease the plight of commuters. He said upon completion of the reconstruction work, traveling from Ibadan through Iwo to Osogbo would take less than 50 minutes. In his remarks, Oluwo of Iwo, Oba Abdurrashid Akombi, said the residents of the area have been subjected to untold hardships following the dilapidated state of the road. Oluwo, however, commended the governors of Oyo and Osun states, Seyi Makinde and Adegboyega Oyetola, respectively, for their commitment towards the project. He said the road construction has built a strong relationship between Osun and Oyo states. It cemented and developed growth. This road has been troubling them, and today they thank the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde and Osun State Governor Boyega Oyetola for setting aside politics and listening to the masses. We go on a short break. We'll be right back.
Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV with entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV. MLC TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
Welcome back. Now on politics. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Mahmood Yakubu, has summoned a meeting with leaders of political parties over the reported clashes among their supporters in some states. Yakubu disclosed this in Abuja on Tuesday during the training of master trainers on election technology for the 2023 general election, as the police plan to spend 13 billion naira on the purchase of firearms and other security hardware ahead of the polls. The hostilities between the parties are happening barely 3 weeks after the campaigns officially kicked off and the political parties and their presidential candidates signed the peace accord under the auspices of the National Peace Committee. Ahead of the commencement of the campaigns on September 28, there had been hostile and abusive verbal exchanges between the supporters of the All Progressives Congress presidential candidates Bola Tinubu and the Labour Party flag bearer Peter Obi. Regardless of the Police Riot Act, hoodlums attacked the People's Democratic Party presidential campaign mega rally in Kaduna. The attackers reportedly came into the Ranchers Bay Stadium venue with sticks and machetes and attacked the party supporters, leaving many injured. Apparently worried by the rising wave of violence, the INEC chairman warned that parties, candidates and their supporters should not, by act of commission or omission, further complicate the prevailing security situation in the country. He stated, even as the commission is working hard to ensure a credible process in the forthcoming elections, reports of clashes among parties and their supporters in some states of the country during the ongoing electioneering is worrisome. He added, a peaceful electioneering campaign is critical to the conduct of peaceful and credible elections. The Commission will continue to monitor the situation closely and will convene a meeting with leaders of political parties the following week to discuss, among other issues, the imperative of peaceful campaigns and equal access to public facilities. Now on foreign. One of China's most senior UK diplomats was involved in violence against protesters at the Manchester consulate on Sunday, a British MP says. What they saw was the Chinese consul general then ripping down posters and peaceful protests, Alicia Kearns told MPs in the House of Commons. MPs in Parliament have privilege, allowing them to speak freely without fear of legal action. China has not commented on Zheng Ziyang's alleged involvement, but the Foreign Ministry in Beijing defended the actions of consulate staff. Spokesman Wang Wenbin said people had illegally entered the ground and any country's diplomats would have taken necessary measures to protect their premises. Foreign Secretary James Cleverly summoned Chinese chargé d'affaires Yang Zhegang, the ambassador's deputy, on Tuesday to demand an explanation for what happened at the consulates. The UK said it was reiterated at the meeting that all diplomats and consular staff based in the UK must respect the UK's laws and regulations. The commander of Russian forces in Ukraine says the situation in the southern city of KHERSON is difficult and residents are to be evacuated. General Sergei Zurovikin said Ukrainian troops using HIMARS rockets were hitting the city's infrastructure and housing. He spoke on Russian state TV. He said the Russian army will above all ensure the safe evacuation of the population of KHERSON. His rare admission of big problems was echoed by a top local official. Russian installed regional official Kirill Stremuzov warned KHERSON residents that in the very near future, Ukrainian troops would launch an assault on the city. This was confirmed by the region's governor Vladimir Saldo, who was also appointed by Russia. KHERSON was the first big city to fall to the Russians back in February. Ukrainian forces have been steadily retaking nearby territory for the past few weeks. They have pushed as far as 30 kilometers south along the Dnieper, threatening to trap Russian troops. KHERSON is the only Ukrainian regional capital to have been captured by the Russians in their invasion. The Kremlin now claims KHERSON and 3 other Ukrainian regions to be part of Russia, a claim rejected internationally. The Chinese government has opened police stations in Nigeria and in over 20 countries in Europe. the Americas, Asia, and Africa in its effort to tackle the increasing criminal activities of its citizens abroad. This was contained in an investigative statement titled 110 Overseas Chinese Transnational Policing Gone Wild. It was widely reported that the police stations are created to bring down on all kinds of illegal and criminal activities involving overseas Chinese. Lesotho and Tanzania are the two other African countries apart from Nigeria that have Chinese police stations. However, the setting up of overseas police service stations was a worldwide phenomenon, with the majority of such being in Western democratic nations, with a particular focus on Europe and not in the 9 forbidden countries. Now on sports. Nigeria Professional League clubs Rivers United and Plateau United have been drawn against Libyan opponents in the preliminary round of qualifiers for the CAF Confederation Cup. NPFL champions Rivers United have been drawn against El Nazar Benghazi of Libya. NPFL champions Rivers United have been drawn against El Nasser Benghazi of Libya, while Plateau United were paired against another Libyan side, Al-Aqda. The additional second preliminary round of the 2022-2023 CAF Confederation Cup draw saw the 16 teams that qualified from the second preliminary round of the Confederation Cup play the 16 teams that lost the second preliminary round of the CAF Champions League. The draws took place at CAF's headquarters in Cairo, Egypt on Tuesday. Similar to their failed Champions League attempts, both clubs will host the first legs of the encounters before traveling to Libya for the return leg. Rivers United hosts El Nasser Benghazi at the Adokiye Amir Simaka Stadium, Port Harcourt, November 2, while Plateau United entertain Al-Aqda at the Moshood Abiola Stadium, Abuja, same day. The second leg of the encounters will follow a week later at the respective home grounds of the Libyan clubs. Reigning African table tennis champion Quadri Aruna will begin his quest to win the second World Table Tennis European Summer Series 2022 when he takes on Antin Kalbag in the round of 32 at the Tapsac Multisport Pavilion, Macau, China. Kalbag is currently ranked 20th in the world, while Quadri is 6 steps ahead of the Swedish table tennis player. Quadri and Egyptian trio Hannah Goda, Dina Meshrev, and Mariam Al-Hordabi are the 4 Africans featuring at the tournament. Should the 2018 Commonwealth Games silver medalist win his match, he will face the winner of Matthias Falk and Tomokazu Harimoto in the round of 16. And over to Matthias Ayodeji Peter for the entertainment news.
On entertainment news today, a Nigerian Wakanda Forever premiere is happening according to Nigerian film distribution company Film One Entertainment. The confirmed premiere will hold in Lagos ahead of the film's anticipated theatrical release. The premiere will be in partnership with Africa International Film Festival, AFRIF, Film One Entertainment, and the Walt Disney Company. With Shuri Letitia Wright rumored to don on the Black Panther suit, the anticipated sequel will see Wakanda threatened by newfound enemies. The sequel will see a number of fan-favorite characters return for what's geared up to be another record-breaking outing. It's taken over a year of production riddled by delays owing to reports of minor stunt injuries on sets and COVID-19. Filming kicked off around August 2020 after months of speculating surrounding recasting King T'Challa, played by Chadwick Boseman, who had died the previous year from cancer. With While Marvel is yet to officially announce the new Black Panther, the sequel new trailer released last month confirmed that Wright will wear the superhero shoes. Wakanda Forever premieres globally on November 11. Still on our entertainment news from Africa, Nigerian rapper LOKOJA has become part of the Grammys voting committee. The announcement was made via the Grammys official Twitter account on Tuesday, 18th October 2022. The Grammys voting members comprises recording artists, performers, songwriters, producers, engineers, instrumentalists, and other creators who are active in the recording industry. Voting membership is for performers, songwriters, producers, engineers, instrumentalists, and other creators currently working in the recording industry. To qualify to become a member of the Voting Academy, such an individual must have creative or technical credits on at least 6 commercially released tracks on a physical music release or 12 on a digital album. An individual who falls short of these requirements may still apply to become a voting member with an endorsement from at least 2 current Recording Academy voting members. According to Billboard, about 12,000 of the Academy's total 21,000 members are eligible to vote. The voters carried out 2 voting processes to determine the winner. The first stage is the nomination process, where the voters receive ballots and vote in the areas of their expertise, including major 4 categories: Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Album of the Year, Best New Artist. After the nomination process comes the final voting, where the voters receive the final shortlist and vote in areas of their expertise, including the big 4 categories. And that is all on entertainment news today. My name is Matthias Ayodeji Peter, reporting for MLC TV.
Thank you, Matthias, for the entertainment update. And that is the size of our package today. Join us tomorrow at this same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happenings within and across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Malachi TV, like and follow our Facebook page, MLC TV, Instagram, MLC TV 2021, and Twitter at MLC TV1. For your events, coverage, information, contribution, advert, and sponsorship, please call any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Join us Fridays and Saturdays to watch our special programs. It is Malachi TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. I am Jane Balagbubo. Please continue to be your brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together. Good day, and thanks for watching.